7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to episode 6 of OWO Fan 19 UK. If you watched the last video, I did, as we say over here, drop a bollock and say it was episode 4. It was actually episode 5. Not quite sure how I managed to do that, but you know, things happen. So yeah, this is going to be my review video, or a reaction video I suppose you'd call it, to the WWE Draft, the televised draft, and the first Smackdown Live. So without further ado, I'll crack on and we'll get on with it. And obviously those of you who haven't watched Smackdown yet, who don't want to know any results or any picks, you know, please go watch it and then come back. If you're not bothered, you know, obviously feel free to carry on watching. So Raw is going to be run by Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon. Quite an odd couple. Not quite sure how this is going to work out, but you know, we'll see. SmackDown is going to be run by Shane O'Mac and Daniel Bryan. Really loving that team. So obviously, you know, things could only get better on SmackDown. So on with the show, as it were. Steph's first pick, surprise, surprise, was Seth Rollins. Daniel Bryan picked Dean Ambrose. Now, originally I was pissed because I've not watched SmackDown for years, and you know, now it's going to be the only way to see Ambrose. But things weren't all bad. It played out quite well in the end, but I'll come to that later on in the video. Next up, Foley picked Charlotte. Don't really care about her anymore, to be honest. She's been made to look like a piss poor champion. SmackDown picked AJ Styles. Again, I was pissed. I thought that WWE were making it so you have to watch SmackDown to see some of your favourite wrestlers, which is obviously the idea, you know, to try and get the ratings back up for them. You know, and get people watching that again, because like I say, I've not watched it for years, and I know a few of my friends who've not watched SmackDown for a long time. They're purely Raw fans. Speaking of Raw, their next pick was Finn Balor. I was well happy with this pick. So glad he's got a call up to the main roster. After this, we had the first match of the night, Cena versus Gallows. Gallows was accompanied by Styles and Anderson, the club. And just when you thought, you know things were looking grim for Super Cena, out came Enzo and Big Cass to even up the odds. Match started, then went to adverts. No logic in that whatsoever. All I could see was a little bit of the match on the left hand side of the screen and a shitload of adverts on the right hand side. The match came back, and you know, it was a bit of back and forth. There was a bit of a stare off between Styles and Anderson, Enzo and Cass. Styles and Anderson rushed Enzo and Cass, who were, you know, all four men were in the ring by this point. Gallows and Cena were on the deck. Enzo and Cass flipped Styles and Anderson out of the ring. Cena got to his feet. Gallows stand up. Cena in with the AA and got the win. Not a very good match, really. In my opinion, it seemed to be what it was, and just pure filler between the draft picks. Back to the draft. Raw picked Roman Reigns. No real comment there. That's pretty much a given. Cena's trying to ram him down still. SmackDown picked Cena. A bit of a shock, really. I thought that they'd kept him on Raw, and you know, to take him off Raw, what a big shock. But it keeps his rivalry with Styles going, and I suppose it'll get a lot of the younger and watching SmackDown again, purely because that's going to be the only way they can see Cena. Raw's next choice was Brock Lesnar, and all I could think was, wow. So the recent doping scandal surrounding him hasn't affected him in WWE at all. So, you know, Brock Lesnar's now part of the Raw roster. Poor Raw roster. SmackDown chose Randy Orton, which was a good pick. And then Raw chose The New Day, who came as a team, all three of them. Next up was another match, Challengers versus Champions, which was Ryder and Young versus Rusev and Miz. After the Cena match, I wasn't really expecting much from this. It wasn't a great match. Darren Young got missed a tap with the crossface chicken wing. Obviously, the use of the crossface chicken wing is all due to the Bob Backlund involvement, and the whole make Darren Young great again. Now, Jerry the King Lawler, I know he's supposed to be a heel commentator, but made a comment about Darren Young has never been great. I kind of agree with that. He's, you know, always been like, he's been a tag champion, but that's about it. You know, he was part of the Nexus, but other than that, he's not really done much. So to make him great again is a bit contradictory in my opinion. Next up, we had another match, Bray Wyatt versus Xavier Woods. Decent match. There was a very apprehensive Xavier Woods at first. Got a little bit of offence in, but Bray Wyatt come out with a win, which I liked. Because it's always nice to see somebody from the New Day get beat. But I actually was glad that Wyatt got the win. Something I've not, felt right about for a long time, Bray Wyatt getting a win. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the 6-man tag match at Battleground this Sunday. That could be really interesting. Next up was supposed to be Kane versus Kevin Owens. The match never really got started as Kevin Owens was making his way to the ring. Sami Zayn came down and attacked him. A bit of a scuffle. Both got into the ring. Owens tossed Zayn to Kane that round, who grabbed him for a choke slam. Owens started jumping around telling him, do it, do it, do it. So Kane then grabbed him and choke slammed him too. Went back to the draft, and Raw picked Sami Zayn, who was laid on the floor recovering from the chokeslam. SmackDown chose Bray Wyatt. For some reason, the Wyatt family didn't qualify as a tag team like any other team on the roster did. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure all will be revealed in time. Raw chose Sasha Banks, which obviously helps the feud with Charlotte, and SmackDown chose Becky Lynch. Raw's last pick of that segment was Y2J. Then we had a handicap match, Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Sasha Banks. Poor match, never doubted the outcome. Didn't really do much. There was a bit of involvement with Natalia and a bit of an involvement with Natalia coming out, and I'm only just watching, I can't remember, but it wasn't a very good match anyway. Never doubted the outcome, so just that was what it was. Back to the draft. Raw grabbed Rusev and Lana. Excuse me, it's hot as hell over here, so it's a little bit warm in the house. Raw grabbed Rusev and Lana, who come together as a package, and obviously takes the US title to Raw. SmackDown picked The Miz, according to Daniel Bryan, purely for the IC title, which kind of made me chuckle a bit. Raw picked Kevin Owens. SmackDown got Baron Corbin. And then Raw chose Enzo and Big Cass, which was a great pick for Raw. And judging by the way Shane McMahon ripped up a piece of paper and threw it in the air, it looked like he was, they were supposedly their next big pick. We had another match, Cesaro versus Jericho. Average match, nothing special. Raw grabbed Anderson and Gallows, which meant the club had been split, which I was annoyed at. But at least if they're going to continue the styles and seeing a feud, it means it's going to be one-on-one now. So could make things a bit more interesting. Next up came another big, in my opinion, big pick for SmackDown. American Alpha, well happy that they've been called up to the main roster. Great tag team. This was followed up by Raw choosing the Big Show, which was just a yawn moment. SmackDown grabbed Dolph Ziggler. I just really hope that doesn't mean they're going to renew the Ziggler-Corbin feud, because that was just boring. Raw chose Nia Jax, which I don't understand at all. There are better women wrestlers on NXT, but Nia Jax has been moved up to the main roster. Whether it's just so she's going to be fodder for the likes of Charlotte and Sasha, I have no idea. And then we came to a commercial break or something. Raw grabbed Neville. SmackDown picked Natalia, which obviously keeps the feud with Becky Lynch going. Raw grabbed Cesaro, who I'm surprised wasn't picked up earlier. So SmackDown added Alberto Del Rio. And the last televised pick went to Raw, and they picked Sheamus. Then came the main event, Rollins versus Ambrose for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Great match, best of the night. Not that there was much competition really, but Ambrose retained the title, much to my delight. Overall the first SmackDown Live was average. I'm sure the calibre of the matches will improve as of next week. I think the matches that were put on were just, filler, like I said, between the draft picks, and they just went all out on the main event. The draft itself was okay, nothing major, apart from, for me, like I said, the club being split, but, it means Styles is single on SmackDown, Anderson and Gallows tag team on Raw, so maybe titles runs are in the future. I'd like to see Styles beat Miz for the IC title and then eventually move on to a world title picture, but we'll have to see what happens. I'm kind of glad Ambrose and Rollins have been split, because I'm a big fan of both guys, more so Ambrose, to be honest. But it just means now that I've got like a real favourite out of those two on each brand now. I mean, there are a lot of guys I really like on Raw, and there's obviously a lot that I like on SmackDown. Styles being one of them. So yeah, I haven't checked out the rest of the draft. I've just literally watched the televised one, come upstairs, and straight away done this video to post up. So obviously, the rest of the draft will be on WWE.com. I probably will check it out, but I probably won't bother doing a video about it unless there's anything major or anything. So yeah, that'll do it for this episode, guys. Like I said, episode 6. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends, and obviously watch, if you haven't already, check out OWO Fan 19, the main channel done by my friend Josh. He has some great videos up there. So yeah, that'll do it for me now, guys. I'll catch you later with a new episode. Bye for now.